And now, here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Justin, what's up, man?
What's going on, Jude? How are you?
I'm fucking awesome.
You had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, yep. Had a turkey and all that shit. It was delicious.
Got the itis?
I did. Fucking fell the fuck out.
I had a 3-day itis experience.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
I started with the itis and then ended with the itis. I did fucking Molly the night before.
Oh, word, okay. Wait, that's outside of your norm, though. You're not really a Molly.
No, I'm not. No, that's not my deal at all. But, like, I'm just trying to find something new to do. So I was like, let's try this Molly out.
How did you enjoy it? Was it good for you?
Well, it killed my penis and then I was like, I feel really great, but this sucks. And then once it started wearing off, that's when I fucking took care of business.
There it is.
I was like, I'm not always a limp dick. I'll show you.
Sometimes you just got to prove a point, you know?
Yeah. She was cool. She was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's a good thing you had some extra days off.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. I wouldn't have done that regularly. I think I'm gonna start taking more days off just to start doing that shit regularly.
Do more Molly?
Yeah.
So it was cool, even though you were flaccid.
Yes, but now I know. I just know how to do it. I got the timing all worked out. Where I give her some first, just start beating that shit up, and then I'll dose myself, and then when she starts getting sore, my shit'll fucking go soft anyway. And I'm like, that was fun. Let's cuddle.
As long as you got a strategy.
That's using the old fucking noggin.
As long as you got a plan.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to talking to you because all I've been hearing about is fucking the rainbow head fella.
Tekashi 6ix 9ine, man. This is the story of the year.
What's going on with him?
Well, he was arrested along with the rest of his Treyway cohorts.
Okay.
Shoddy and a few other fellas. They were part of a blood gang chapter. I'm not sure if you call gang chapters or not, but it sounds like a chapter to me.
Right.
They were arrested on racketeering, drug charges, getting hit with Fed time under the RICO umbrella.
Ooh, buddy. We'll
see what happens. So Tekashi was arrested on November 21st, on racketeering charges, among other. He's been in custody since then. And there's speculation about how this will play out for him. Now, no one believed Tekashi was a kingpin by any means at all. No one thought that he was the head of some criminal organization. But he has been so affiliated with everything Treyway that the feds brought him in along with everyone else. Now, here's how it played out. It was interesting. The week before Thanksgiving, Tekashi goes on Instagram Live, and he's talking about how he's fired his entire management team. He's not associated with Shoddy or any of these other guys, any of the Treyway people, because they were allegedly stealing from him. So what he was saying was he had a bunch of shows that were booked.
Yeah.
And they were saying that the price for his shows is so low because he had caused so much drama in so many different cities that a lot of venues were scared of him.
Right.
It turns out that they were taking the majority of the money, according to Tekashi, and only giving him $60,000 to $80,000 per show. Tekashi went on the Breakfast Club the next week after he went online on IG, told everybody switched his management team. He goes on the Breakfast Club and he talks about how he had one of the venues call him, or one of the booking agents call him, and said that they gave him $3 million for 15 shows. Well, that was news to Tekashi, which is why he severed ties.
Oh, damn.
That's a lot of money.
$80,000 is a lot less than $3 million.
Right. I mean, even if it's 15 shows, you should be doing a whole lot better than what his management team, quote unquote, were giving him.
So in his management team, Treyway is a gang?
They're
allegedly
a blood chapter. I like chapters. It sounds like a fraternity.
All right, so they're a chapter, and this chapter was fucking him out of money.
According to Tekashi,
According to Tekashi.
According to Tekashi. Now, one of the things that Tekashi talked about during his Breakfast Club conversation was that, he had spent all his time with these guys. He's not fully involved with him, is what he said, but he also said that he was essentially putting them on. He was, from the same neighborhood, giving them all jobs, giving them all opportunity, and for them to steal from him is why he severed ties. During that conversation, he also said something interesting. He says that he could tell he was being watched, and this is before he was actually arrested, but he said that he was being watched. There was all kinds of feds looking at him. It wasn't city cops. It wasn't state police. It was straight up feds, and that's how he could tell that there's only two things that he was scared of: God and the feds at that time. Well, he leaves the Breakfast Club that day. The next day he gets arrested along with the rest of his Treyway cohorts.
I imagine that he gained credibility by being with Treyway. That's the upside.
And protection.
Yeah, protection. Yeah. Credibility, protection. But as we know, nothing comes for free. And
I think, I'm not close enough to this situation to say what was going through his mind or his heart when things went wrong. But when he was on IG and he was on the Breakfast Club, he sounded really upset that these guys were stealing money from him. So, I'd be
upset too. Yeah, I'd be fucking. I think he thought they were cooler than they were. Did it sound like he thought like they was cooler than they were, or do we got anything from it or not?
Yeah, I'll pull up a clip here from the Breakfast Club conversation. I don't know if it was much as they thought they were cooler than they were. I think he didn't think that they would be stealing that much from him, which maybe that's the same thing.
Yeah,
but, that definitely was a problem. Since that was significant. I'll pull up a link here so we can play some audio.
Yeah, it was. But I don't feel bad for him. It's
Tekashi?
hard. Yeah, it's hard to feel bad for Tekashi.
I think one of the things is he spent all year talking about how untouchable he was. We talked about the Breakfast Club interview he did last spring.
Yeah.
The one where he troll-godded his way through, Charlemagne's questions. And everything came back to the same thing. Who's going to touch us? I'm king of New York. No one's going to touch us. This is just the internet anyway. Everyone knows this is just the internet.
Right.
Earlier that same year, there was a shooting at the Barclays Center that they were part of or are being accused of, having a role in. There was friction at South by Southwest with Rap-A-Lot.
Yeah.
There was a robbery in April, allegedly. Feds say that Tekashi was there and participated in that one. So there was a fight at the airport.
Yes.
At
and then
LAX.
Then he got robbed as well, right? Or
then he got robbed in front of his house right before his video with Nicki Minaj dropped. The feds are saying that, well, not the feds. Tekashi says that the people who robbed him were from Treyway.
So you saying he got robbed by his own people?
That's the story that's coming out. I don't want to say Tekashi's saying just yet.
And when did that come out?
Well, that story's old. I mean, that's something we talked about on the show maybe last June or so.
So he even back then he knew it was Treyway?
That's what it sounds like.
And it took him this long to fire them motherfuckers?
I think it puts you in an interesting situation, right? Because he didn't hire a securities firm, He didn't hire professional bodyguards.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say he has nothing to do with the RICO charges, the racketeering charges, the robbery charges, the drug charges. Let's say he has nothing to do with any of those charges. He hired people who were arrested for those charges. So I'm not sure if I'm 20-year-old rainbow hair, skittle teeth rapper, I would feel comfortable snitching before the handcuffs were pulled out, which is essentially what it would have been. And so at that point, if you pull out of the arrangement, I think you're already in over your head.
Yeah. Yeah, he just he had it coming. He had all this. He was doing a lot of barking. You know what I mean? And like, look, man, like, if you hang out with gangsters, you're gonna be around some gangster shit. Like, unless they have you leave the room every fucking couple, like, you know, you gotta get out of here. You gotta leave the room. You gotta leave the room. Like, I'm sure he was witness to some things.
Have to be.
Yeah, it's
one of the stories that's coming out around this is that allegedly there was a situation where Shotty, he's the guy that everyone thought was named Treyway. He robbed some guys in an office in Times Square. Allegedly, they're Rap-A-Lot related, and according to the story, 6ix 9ine was in the car filming a robbery.
What?
I know. It's crazy to me. Part of me wants to think, nah, this has got to be the internet just getting colorful with the colorful hair guy. The other part of me is like, man, I've seen his IG live. I've seen his gram. It's all a show. They're untouchable. No one's going to run up on him. King of New York. Not even Cardi B's bigger. He's been saying this for a year. So I can see in your mind and in your reflexes, well, you know, I know this isn't going to come back to haunt me. I can see that if I'm 20 and I came up trolling.
Gingerbread man.
And that's my whole thing.
Let's go to Jonathan and Patterson.
We have the clip too, John.
Hey,
I'm dropping
what up, guys?
What's
How's
up?
everybody?
Doing great, man.
So, yeah, I just wanted to comment on that whole Tekashi thing. I followed him, like, you know, when he first came out with Gummo and everything. And come on, man. There's no way that this guy, okay, is a blood. Just from the way that, you know, the way that he was. And, yeah, he may have been rolling around with gangsters and all kinds of things. But, I mean, gangsters move in silence. This guy was just posting everything on social media. So it only takes one incident for the federales to just start watching. And whether it's a robbery or shooting, and like you said, if he's filming a robbery, and this guy's got a prior, he's got a felony on his record, and he starts filming stuff, posting it on social media, look, man, you can only hide for so long if you keep posting stuff on social media. It's gonna gain attention. People are gonna start watching. So everything else that happened, you know, is bound to happen.
He was bright in the streets.
Yeah, he was. We used to say a motherfucker was hot. You know, like that shit is. He was hot. He was hot, boy. Like that. I don't know. Like that. I think he's right. I think he did tell on himself. And the thing is, look, bro, you don't even need you. For them feds, bro, like, you could just be in the same room. You know what I mean? Like if you're around them when they're conspiring on some shit, like you in the gang.
There's a story that broke today that the feds had a different informant that wasn't 6ix 9ine, that wasn't Shotty or anyone who was arrested, allegedly. So this broke today, where the feds are saying there was another informant, and they have a recording, which is why Tekashi was brought in as well. Because there is a question here, if you're looking at, okay, well, these guys are gangsters. If he's not really a gangster, if he's not really your blood, if he's not moving in silence, why would he get picked up in the first place, right? Is it just being too close to the action? Potentially. But he got hit with some major charges. And the feds don't waste resources like that.
And here's the other thing that cats don't. He's not the first rapper, and he won't be the last rapper that claims a gang for notoriety and security.
I think most rappers are doing that these days.
Yeah, a ton of them. There's a lot of gangsters that are making money off of rappers.
Remember Soulja Boy? I think we talked about Soulja Boy here when he got in a fight with. He couldn't tell which blood gang he was a part of.
Oh, and he ran up on the wrong ones. Yeah, that shit was funny. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, yeah, it's like basically they're renting. Their rent is like they're renting gangsters, but to think that these cats are like down for you is foolish. It's like you are, bro. You just a you're a rental, man. Like you're just paying these motherfuckers to hang out. You know what I mean? Like, and they might have been they might have been cool from the hood and all that. I don't know, but
here's the quote that came out today. This is from the court hearing that happened yesterday. First of all, he has not been granted bail yet. His trial isn't scheduled until September 4th, 2019. He has almost a year before his trial starts. In court today, can
he post bail or bond?
Right now, he has not been able to.
Okay.
This week in court, the judge said that he's not ready to talk or to even see a bail request yet. So at this point, he cannot. And so this is what came out in the article today. That said, data taken from 6ix9ine cell phones, including one device examined when he was returning to the U.S. from an international trip, will be used against him. Ooh. This is everybody's worst weapon, the one that we like the most. Our weapon's their weapon. Then it says, Longyear further revealed that a confidential informant had made recordings that are part of their case, prompting one distressed attendee to loudly whisper, "Shit."
Damn. Joey from Bodymore. Joey lost him. Let's go to Anonymous in Denver. What's up?
Hello?
You're on. You're Anonymous.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy. These record labels, they're just trying to make people. All that they're doing is these rappers are puppets for them, and they're just making a ton of money.
Look, man. I think this was his own idea. Like, I don't think the record label put him up to it. Like,
no, but even then, though, look with this stuff with 50 Cent. They go out and do this stuff, and then it gives them a little notoriety, and then they get back out and they keep doing the same shit. Even then, though, the FBI they wouldn't deny his bail unless they really needed him. I think they're worried that if he gets out, he's either gonna get jumped or killed by someone.
I don't know. Look, I don't know why he was anonymous. I thought he was gonna say something like real important or some shit. But another caller that dropped did bring up a good point. Usually the feds don't come holler at you until they got something. You know what I mean? They'll sit on some shit. They'll let you play yourself for fucking 2 years straight. You know what I mean? They'll build a case on your ass before they come holler at your ass.
Exactly. And here's the thing that's also interesting about this case is that right after the Breakfast Club interview, we have a clip of that here too, if you want to play some of that here in a few. But right after this interview with the Breakfast Club, the feds or some official reached out to Tekashi and said, "Hey, we want to take you into custody. We should take you into custody now." He was like, "No." And then so it's like, all right, we're just going to have to arrest this guy right now because they had chatter on the wire that Treyway, 9 Trey Blood Gang out of Brooklyn, they were going to murder Tekashi 6ix9ine.
So that was like,
he was supposed to go to a casino, Foxwood. Foxwood. He's supposed to go up there.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a wrap. So they had to go bring him in beforehand.
They saved his life. D in Boston. D.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Jude?
You got it, man.
Hey, my whole thing is, man, I think Tekashi's just a young kid, man. He didn't know what the fuck he was getting himself involved in. And, when shit took off for him, man, it just took off too fast. At the end of the day, all them dudes around him, they were all fake, and he knew that shit. But he just wanted to enjoy the credibility of being a gangster, which he's not. A lot of these dudes pay for that. You know what I mean? Because they ain't gangsters themselves. If you need people around you all the time, you are not a real one. I walk the streets of Boston every day by myself. I drive through here by myself. Can't nobody tell me shit. You understand? I don't pay for protection. I am my protection. And bottom line, he gonna sit in there for a while. Period.
Do you think? my next question is Tekashi the biggest one they want there, or do you think they're going to try to flip Tekashi to get somebody else?
I personally think.
Honestly,
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I don't think he's gonna. I'm sorry, my fault. I don't think Tekashi's gonna flip. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to prove to the streets that he's a real one. Which, you know what I'm saying? Which is, I mean, hey, if that's him, that's him. But if you say this is what you do in your music, then you got to show the crowd. But at the end of the day, you should be your own leader. You don't need no. You know what I mean? You don't need to be following nobody. That whole Treyway movement, that shit is bullshit. You know what I mean? I know a lot of Brooklyn niggas that don't fuck with that movement. I know real blood niggas. You know what I mean? From New York and LA. And niggas do not fuck with that Treyway bullshit. That's just made up bullshit. He made that up and it boosted his ego. And you got everybody screaming, Treyway, Treyway. They don't know what the hell that is. They just screaming it. And that's the same shit that'll get these people in a pine box. Screaming something they don't know nothing about.
I look at the history of arrests in New York City. The rap division in New York Police Department is a real thing. I don't think any of this is interesting to the news if Tekashi's not a part of it. So I don't think that there's someone bigger necessarily.
Okay.
I think that Tekashi is enough to make this sexy enough for this to be news breaking in the first place. And I honestly don't think that he was a mastermind or anything. But I definitely don't think that. I definitely think that if you're around the wrong people too often, then you end up going to jail too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fights, a lot of robberies, some gunshots.
Nah, I'm
all
not,
year.
I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Jamal and Sag Nasty. What up, Jamal?
Hey, man, what's up, man?
Go ahead, bro. You on?
Yeah, man, it's the hip hop police, man. You know they've been on these next years, man, and he beefing with other and trolling other entertainers with the same heat that he got. You know, it will never look good for you. It will always have an outcome like that.
Yeah, I hear you, hip hop police, but like this is Rico shit. You know what I mean? Like this is
gonna stand out, so you got people looking at them. Starting with, because you start off with these hip hop cats, and they already looking at people like them already. So you put a target on your back, an even bigger target. So they're able to find other stuff.
There's one situation that I think is most interesting in this Tekashi case.
What is that?
On November 7th, Tekashi was having dinner with Elliot Grange. Elliot Grange is who Tekashi's actually signed to.
Okay.
They created something called Strange Music, if I'm not mistaken. They had to actually, that was a different legal situation, clearly. But he's actually signed to Elliot Grange. Elliot Grange is Lucian Grange's son. Lucian Grange is head of Universal Music. And Tekashi was having dinner with Elliot in New York at, I can't think of the restaurant right now. But they're having dinner in the restaurant, and then Shadi and the rest of the 9 Trey Bloods come up, want to come to the dinner. Elliot's security says, no, you guys can't come. According to TMZ, 2 of Elliot's bodyguards turned Tekashi's entire crew away, which blew up when some of them stuck around and allegedly got into a brawl that ended with someone getting shot. So there was an altercation between Tekashi's label head
and his boys.
And right after that, Tekashi's on the gram saying, I don't mess with them no more. Then Tekashi's on the Breakfast Club saying everything he's saying, and then he gets picked up. Things started moving really fast right after that.
Let me hear a bit of this Breakfast Club thing, and then we'll take the rest of these calls.
You know what's so crazy? It's not even state. Like, this shit is federal. Like, where? So I started seeing like, yo, Tekashi 6ix 9ine, because I didn't cooperate with no police.
Right,
I didn't say nothing. I said, yo, I need.
Did it.
Yeah, like, because my thing is, that's what I wanted to talk about. Remember when I was like, yo, nothing gonna happen to me. Nothing gonna happen to me. I'm untouchable. I'm immortal. Who gonna touch me? Where? Test my shit. Remember?
Yeah.
It happened.
Was that humbling?
No, it happened. And I'm like, nobody could touch me. What? Who gonna touch me? Who? I knew how strong my team was. Nobody could touch me. To this day, nobody could touch me. The only way you could touch me is if you were already next to me.
Yeah, if he was in your
own
team.
peoples.
Got you.
Now listen to this, right? When I sat there, I'm like, I'm reading the article. I'm like, yo, I'm not even gonna address that. People around me, they know I ain't talking.
Do you know Anthony Ellison?
I saw it said federal. That's beyond us now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not state. I got federal agents sitting in front of my house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. It's beyond us. There's nothing I could do. What am I? There's one thing. There's only one thing I fear in life. No, 2 things. No, I'm not gonna. I fear God and I fear the FBI. Only 2 things I'm scared of in life. God first, and the FBI.
Let's go to Sav in Vegas. Sav.
Jude, Justin, what it do, man?
What up?
Check it out. What up? Hey, I'm the one that called in to chop it up with you, Jude, about the Bosco and Dash shit. So look, on some street shit, the reason why they're not giving that fool bail yet is because he's dealing with the feds, so they're waiting to indict his ass. They're getting all their ducks in a row. That's how they operate. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to hem you up unless they got you for sure. So he better get ready to do that 80% of the time they finna hand his ass. And he thinking because he didn't shoot the gun or whatever, if we all say we're in a group, we're in a gang, we got a few matching tattoos, handshakes, all that type of shit, and I got the money to facilitate you guys doing some dumb shit, that's where the conspiracy comes in. So they got him on that shit, all that on IG with guns and his homies shooting people. He think he cool because he didn't do the shooting. But if you got the money and we all a clique, we the clique out, whatever they calling it, then that's how they gonna get him, and he going down for that shit. Mark my words, you're gonna get indicted, bro.
I believe you. Yeah. I don't know many times when the feds get involved and they're like, fuck it.
Right.
Man, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We didn't have shit else to do. Go ahead, man. Nah, you good. I like that one song you do where you're yelling. Go ahead, man. You good.
Can you and your homies put on those red shirts again? Hang out in front of that brownstone?
Yeah. And yell about how gangster you are?
We just want your autograph.
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man. Them machine guns ain't real. Man, you was just playing. Like, bro.
I mean, that's the thing about this interview. Right after this interview, the next day he gets arrested.
Jacob in Denver. Jacob.
Yo.
Go ahead, man.
All right, check it. I got a couple of things to say. First thing, I'm going to start off just by saying everybody wants to be a gangster till it's time to do gangster shit. I mean, that's just real talk. But secondly, I mean, he was big. I heard you say a minute ago, Jude, he was bigger than Cardi B and all that shit right now. So, I mean, when you're on that kind of platform and you're talking the kind of shit that he was talking, the feds are going to shut it down. It's kind of the same shit with Tupac. He had such a following and such a voice. The feds took him away. They wanted to take his voice away. You take their power away, but like that. So he was sitting here talking his stuff. He had a platform, so they took the platform away. Now they're going to stick him with he was sitting here funding illegal activities. That's why the RICO came in, because they're going to try to stick him because he was funding it,
Yeah. We got an anonymous agent. Go ahead.
Jude.
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Good.
All right, so just to add some info into this, since everybody's saying what they're saying, I don't get into record companies or anything. I can tell you from a jurisdiction of being a federal agent that out of 10 wiretaps, only 1% of them get approved by a judge. It takes a long time to get a wiretap approved. You better come in with some serious documentation for a judge to approve somebody's phone to be tapped or anything like that. It's not a simple 2-week stakeout or a month stakeout. It's taken me 8 to 10, 12 months, and I've had to have hard evidence to be able to tap somebody's phone or conversations or anything. I have confidential informants that I meet with that are wired that takes forever to go through overnight. This has been going on for a long time. And I'm telling you, as true as it can be, I've walked in with so much evidence before, and I've been shot down because the judge doesn't think it's fair enough for us to tap into some of these conversations. And then I would do it again. But I can tell you, out of 10 of them, only 1 to 2 are approved. If we did it out of a percentile out of 100, maybe 2% are approved when they go through the first time.
Well, there you go. Thanks for calling up. I appreciate the information from the other side. It's enlightening.
That's a crazy year Tekashi's had because Gun Mode essentially dropped October 20th, late October last year.
Yeah.
They have some hard evidence against this guy.
Yeah. Sean in Georgia. Sean, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, how y'all doing? Long time listener. But I want to weigh in on this, how the feds work. I've been to prison for trafficking cocaine. And the crew that I hung with, we was once facing a racketeering charge. But miraculously, the feds at the last minute didn't want to pick the case up. But I ended up doing time on the trafficking cocaine charge. But this thing with Tekashi, they might not even really want him. But they've been watching the group. They probably don't even want him. But because he's the loudest of the group, and he's claiming to be part of the group, they want to flip him. They want to pick out the weakest link. That's usually what they do. They can't get the head man, they'll grab the weakest link and put so much pressure on them and make them say what they won't want to hear. Now, I had some friends that is locked up right now for a racketeering charge, and it was 10 of them, and 5 of them was only crackhead. In other words, they were just hanging around the other 5. So all of them went to prison. So what I'm saying is, only because you associating with trying to be this person and trying to be that person, they're going to pull you in. If you say you ain't going to testify, if you know something, they know he knows something, but the problem is they're going to have to flip him. But I'm thinking he going to do it.
There was another situation that happened since he's been arrested.
God damn.
So at one point, they originally put Tekashi in Gen Pop, general population.
Yeah.
And then they moved him to a safer place for him to be. And this is because, one, 9 Trey Bloods, Treyway, his gang, his homies, his chapter, they were trying to, clearly things aren't cool with them. They were threatening him on, the police heard them talk about killing him. And you can't be a colorful hair blood and then have a bunch of Crips around either. So it was just dangerous for him to be in general population, which has led so many people to speculate whether or not he was going to snitch, whether he was going to turn informant, because since then they moved him to another location in the prison, or to another prison altogether. Now in court, Treyway, the one that everyone knows, his manager, he said this in court. This is on record. I love all my family. We don't fall. We don't bend. We don't break.
Well, we'll see. It's easy to say that shit when there's no pressure.
They might not bend. Yeah. I'm not sure if Fifi gonna bend or not. Fifi sounds bendable.
Let's go to Bryson, Lima, Ohio. Go ahead, Bryce.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, Jude, they said they've been watching, Tekashi. They, the feds have since 2013, 2014. Not only that, they got Tekashi on video on IG Live arguing with Fetty Wap's cousin and offering someone $30,000. Now, he don't come out and say it, but he says, I got $30,000 for someone. I got $30,000. Now, they're also saying that that's him putting out a hit on Fetty Wap's cousin.
Well, I got to say he's more interested in his music. Alex in North Carolina.
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
What's up, Alex?
What up, Alex?
Hey, in my opinion, thank God because this fucking guy has been getting old quick, fucking millennial rapper. But to kind of piggyback a dude's point, like a couple callers ago, once you fucking fund some shit, it immediately makes you an accessory. Like, whether, like you said, you know, you didn't pull a trigger, but you bought the gun, sort of deal. So he's guilty by association. And his fucking attitude in that interview, like, oh, fuck, nobody can touch me, dude. And he's scared of 3 people, God, the feds. Well, he's got to be scared of 3 people, and it's going to be that long dick in jail, because that motherfucker's going away, dude.
Let's go to Jason.
He's got to.
He's a former DEA. Jason.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, man.
Good. Just to kind of piggyback off all those points they were making right there. Yeah, I mean, it takes so long before you can actually even investigate a case to get up to the higher-ups with those kind of credentials. I mean, they must have been watching him for quite a while. I worked in Minneapolis and in the St. Paul area, all the way over to North Dakota in the Fargo area, and it's I've seen some cases where it takes a long time. I mean, it takes a long time before
Jason,
you can get that going.
On average, how long do you usually work a case? A year or 2?
You know, it depends. It depends on what actually occurs. So, for example, we had a case where there were pounds of methamphetamine being transferred from the North Dakota area into St. Paul. And with something like that, it took almost 4 years of us actually seeing what was going on, recording, then getting confirmation from higher-ups to actually be able to start putting things in place to where we could actually make arrests.
Damn.
Yeah, so, I mean, if he actually got pinched, I think there's a lot more than what they're putting forward. They know a lot more, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was also another incident at a video shoot in Los Angeles that was supposed to be Tekashi, Kanye, and Nicki Minaj. The video shoot was shot up. So bullets hit the house. This was prior to the arrest, same week as he went on IG Live saying that he no longer hangs with his blood chapter. I know it's a set, and I just like saying chapter better. I think it sounds more regal on Sirius XM.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure this is something we're going to be following throughout the months.
I think we got at least until September 4th, 2019. That's his trial date.
I appreciate the fucking. I didn't know that feds listen to this, and I was just joking about that Molly. I never even did that shit. I just couldn't get my dick hard. I was just nervous.
You said Molly, he meant Cialis. The legal kind, not the kind that comes in the mail from India. Yeah. Real quick, Tekashi's album "Dummy Boy" leaked the other day.
Yeah,
they actually now have it distributed. The Rush version of it. I mean, the album's they found a way to put it out.
Right.
Just letting people know that if you're interested in the album, Dummy Boy, Tekashi's new project is now available for streaming. Track number 1 is called "Stupid," featuring Bobby Shmurda.
The irony.
Can't make this stuff up.
All right. Justin, thanks for coming in, man.
My brother. Follow at The Company Man on everything.
Let's go.